So today the first challenge is their mindset. And when you were in the combat stress, do you panic or do you understand the stress for what it is? And that's what they're going to have to try and overcome. You must keep your composure is what the DS is telling them. And this is where they're going to induce panic and fear, and they want to see how the recruits are going to act and what they're going to do. Welcome to We Wine Whenever. Grab your glass and join three Jersey Shore housewives, Wendy, Kelly, and Lori, as they dive into everything from Bravo drama to life's everyday chaos. It's unfiltered, it's hilarious, and it's the real talk you've been waiting for, from relationship to pop culture. We drink wine whenever, and we hope you do too. Don't forget to subscribe and give us a 5-star review. Cheers! Welcome to We Wine Whenever. I'm Wendy.
And I'm Lori.
We are talking about Special Forces, Season 4, Episode number 4. This one is called Mindset, which is a good name for this one.
Yes.
It is day 4, and there's 14 remaining, and it is 06:03 hours, which is 6:03 a.m. And we start out with Andrew and Ravi are talking, and Ravi says that he loves this and he feels bad for his wife. And then we see him talking in his confessional, and he says his wife and his whole family are all terrified for him for doing this.
Right.
And when I'm watching it, I was like, that's a little odd. Like, I don't know too much about it, but we'll see at the end. Like, there's way more to this story. And that's what I said about this show that I really want to know is I want to know about these people. I want to hear their story and like why
Mhm.
they're there.
Yeah, the
So,
backstory is what makes it.
yeah, it definitely is what makes it.
That and also think what makes it is I really enjoy the, psychological aspect of it.
Yeah.
What the staff is trying to accomplish and their insights, and I enjoy that end of it also.
No, I agree. So today the first challenge is their mindset. And when you were in the combat stress, do you panic or do you understand the stress for what it is? And that's what they're going to have to try and overcome. You must keep your composure is what the DS is telling them. And this is where they're going to induce panic and fear, and they want to see how the recruits are going to act and what they're going to do. So they're going to take them close to the edge, and they want to see if they can either deal with it or they won't be there anymore. On the way there, Cody is talking to Andrew, and he says to him, Cody, listen, I'm not a fan of Cody. I honestly, every time he opens his mouth, I'm just like, ugh,
Yes, it's
right?
insert foot,
Yeah.
most
Yeah.
definitely.
So he says to Andrew, like, your experience in football, like you were a long snapper. So it's not like you were getting a lot of the glory. And Andrew said, "Yeah, first I was a linebacker, but then they switched me and they made me a long snapper. And, then I got married to Shawn Johnson, and now like nobody cares about Andrew. Everyone's like, he's like, my ego doesn't get a chance to shine. Everyone's like, you're Shawn Johnson's husband." And I get it because she's an Olympic gold medalist, and you can see on this show, she is a force to be reckoned with.
She's a badass is what she is. She's a
She's
badass.
Yep. She's got the mental and physical strength to pretty much do anything. And it's so interesting to see the two of them because he is a big guy and she is a tiny
Tiny girl,
woman,
yes. Mhm.
right?
Yep.
But she's carrying it. She's carrying it.
And do you see how Cody says, he always has to have some back ass comment like,
Yeah.
"Oh, you can do the dishes, Andrew."
Yeah.
Stop it.
Like, yeah, exactly.
Let's
And
see
he
what
even
your wives
says,
have to say about you.
well, he's only left with one because all the rest of them are like, we're done with
That's
you.
what I'm saying.
Right? Yeah. I mean, Andrew even acknowledges, like, he knew she was tough, but watching her prepare for this course, like, she's locked in like he's never seen before, and he is even intimidated by his own wife, which
Mhm.
honestly, that says a lot. That says a lot. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm intimidated by her, to be quite honest with you.
There were certain things that happened, that I've noticed from past episodes and then this episode that, I'm always wondering, especially with the reality TV shows, what's scripted and what is really taking place. But there were several times where she was like a mother henning him a little, like nitpicking at certain things or just pointing certain things out. And it makes me wonder whether it was really their relationship or were those the things that production has brought about. Like, does Cody really always walk around shirtless, or did production just present those scenes repeatedly so that it seemed like he did? You're always wondering.
Yeah. No, I get that. I get that. On the way there, we see Gia says she doesn't want to drown again, so she's like a
Mhm.
little fearful of water.
Mhm. I wrote down, like, I would be thinking to myself, "Okay, whatever this challenge is, at least we're going by some water, because you know it's gotta be hot as hell there." So, water
Yeah,
has
that's a
to
good
be a
point.
blessing no matter what, you know?
Yeah, that's a good point. So the DSs tell them one of the things they're asked to do when they're in special forces is to infiltrate key national structures. And they turn around and they are on the one of the biggest structures in the world, and it's this huge dam, which is
Mhm.
intimidating. Have
Most
you ever
definitely.
have you ever been to Hoover Dam?
No, I always wanted to go. I've never been to the Grand Canyon. I've always wanted to see that too. I'd like to see something like that, like you say, it's just
Yeah,
this
it's
overwhelming
massive.
vista of something.
So I have been to Hoover Dam. I have not been to the Grand Canyon, and it is massive. It's like it's kind of I mean, it's hard to imagine it like you saw it there. It's kind
Mhm.
of like, Niagara Falls. Like, you can't imagine it until you
Until
experience it in
you really
person.
see it.
Right, and that Hoover Dam and this dam looks kind of the same way. It's just this huge, massive structure.
Mhm.
So, the DSs tell them that, like, you're gonna need to, you know, not doubt now no self-doubt. You need to get attack this with self-confidence. So you can't, like, just second guess yourself. You need to go out there and just do it.
Mhm.
So what they're gonna do is they watch the first guy do it. He's a special forces guy. They're gonna do an extrication. They're gonna drop down 300 feet.
Yeah, repel. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, repel on a line, and they're gonna give them a set of coordinates, and when they get to the bottom, they have to repeat those coordinates to the person that's meeting them down there so that they can extract their person, right?
Which sounds really simple, but
Yeah,
I'm sure it's not. I mean, I'm sure I would forget everything that they told me before I
because you're
left.
you're
When I
concentrating on not dying.
Yeah, you're concentrating on just, like, repelling and not, crashing,
Right,
not on the sequence of letters and numbers that they want you to remember.
exactly. So the first one to go is Nick Young, and Nick Young is our NBA player who's, like, 7 feet tall with the big earrings, right?
Mhm.
So far, he's failed every single task he's had, and he says up there when he's up there, he's very scared. He's like, "This is scary," and, like, "F this," like, he's terrified, you can tell it.
You
Like,
can yeah, no, definitely.
he's not hiding it.
No.
So, the DS tells him, "Legs shoulder width apart, walk backwards," and then he gives him his code, Golf Alpha 5646, right?
Again, that's just like the helicopter thing. That's probably has to be the scariest moment is when they make you lean back like that over
Yeah.
this huge, space, open space. That's gotta
Yeah.
be terrifying.
Yeah, so he's like his feet are up against the wall and he's leaning back and he gives him his code and his eyes are closed. He goes back, but he doesn't jump, so he winds up falling, like his legs don't repel like they're supposed to.
Mhm.
And he's like dangling, and the DS is yelling at him, like, open your eyes, get control, look over your right shoulder. Like he's giving him instructions, right? So he winds up finally lowering himself down. He gets down to the DQ and he's like, okay, what's the code? And Nick is like, Alpha 2469. Nope, that was not the code. He's like, you fail.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Welcome to Husbands Watching Housewives. I'm Scott.
And I'm Jeff.
We're two husbands.
Each other's husbands.
Join us as we share our gay 40-something perspectives on all the Real Housewives shows.
We bring a balanced take on all the Housewives drama without the shouting matches or hot takes you see all over social media.
Catch us the day after each episode drops. Watch on YouTube or Spotify or listen wherever you get your favorite podcasts.
Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok.
And find everything at husbandswatchinghousewives.com.
From Beverly Hills to Potomac.
We're here to stir the pot responsibly.
But, I mean, I was really proud of him because he did it. He, like, accomplished it, so whether he
Like, yeah,
pass or fail, like, he did it.
I agree. I agree. Then next up is Ravi, and he says that they don't like when you're funny or sarcastic. And he gets up there, and the DS says, "Well, you're going to tell me like what you're going to do, right?" And he's like, "I'm not going to speak unless I'm spoken to." And then in his confessional, he tells us like that's his defense mechanism. Like he's an actor, so he's used to just kind of improving and
Mhm.
you know like, just talking, just, like, kinda talking and not leaving, like, dead air. That's what he's
Yeah.
used to doing.
It's the same thing with Nick. He said the same thing, that's kinda his
He's used to
MO is to
making
kinda,
yeah,
like,
making
just make the
jokes, right.
jokes.
So then the DS asks him, like, "Where are you from?" He's like, "I'm from England," and then Robbie's like, "Well, I enjoyed this conversation," and the DS is like, "I don't, dimwit." I was like, "What?"
Well, this is the thing. They're not up there to make conversation with you. You're lucky the guy gave you England. Don't ask him whereabouts in England. It's like, what are you
Yeah,
doing? It's
yeah,
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 no, no. They're
right.
not about it. They're not about it.
Right. So then he gives him his code, which is GA34. He's like, okay, control walk, like walk it back and push it off. And actually, like when Ravi did it, I was like, wow, he totally nailed it.
You
Like I
did.
saw him repel and I was like, I feel like he's done this before. Like I didn't feel like that was his first time. And he gets down and the I think it's a DQ asks him, like, what's his code? And he gives him the code GA34. He's like, you passed. So, of course, he feels like a rock star, and everyone else watching him is like, "Wow, like, you did a great job," and he did. I mean, you
Mhm.
can't take that away from him. He did a great job. Then we see Brianna is next, and in her confessional, she says that she's terrified. I think she did a good job of hiding it when she was up there, but they don't really give us their whole experience. Like, we just get
Right.
hers next, then we get Chanela's next, and then we get Johnny Manziel's next, and he's worried about failure. We see Shawn in her confessional, and she's talking about everything she's sacrificed in her life, her whole life, just for her sport.
Yeah.
So she knows how to focus because that's all she's ever known. This is what she grew up with.
Well, yeah, this is highly disciplined, you know? It's a highly disciplined
100%.
person when you're somebody who's that type of athlete.
I think any Olympic athlete has to be highly disciplined, or
Well, most
otherwise,
definitely. Yeah.
right, you're
No.
not going to get
Yeah,
there.
no, no.
It's funny because you would think that of the NFL or the NBA, but it's not the same. It's
No,
not the
no, not
same
at all.
level.
Not at all.
It's
No.
not. And you could
Not at all.
tell by this competition, like the cream definitely rises to the top,
Most
right?
definitely. Yeah.
So Andrew says he's never really seen this competitive side of her. So he's kind of like almost in awe and, intimidated.
Mhm.
Jesse James Decker goes and she does great. Cody, after he goes, he's like, that was great. I want to do it again. And the DS says to him, stop smiling.
Yeah.
So I guess he passed.
I saw things on him how he, like, intensely, intensely trained for this show.
Really?
Yeah, like, worked out 4 hours a day, went to climates so he could climb mountains that had a higher altitude. Like, I think that he's so narcissistic that for him to fail at it is just I think that probably for months he has focused on nothing except for that. But they said that he was, he's the oldest on the show,
Oh, I
but
didn't realize that.
yeah, he's the oldest, and he really intensely trained. And they said members of the cast said it was almost like he was on, like, speed. Like, he would pass the younger people, scurrying up and down the side of a mountain like someone half his age, and they were like, "Whoa, whoa." He was just super intense, and they said, like, his
Focused.
yeah, and his, like, cardio was, like, off the chain.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
How old is he that he's the oldest?
I don't remember.
Because I thought Teresa was like 53, so he's got to be in his 50s.
Yeah. What's his last name?
Cody Brown.
Let's see. How old is Cody Brown? 56.
50s.
Yeah. So, interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting. I mean, and he's not an athlete either,
No,
So
no, 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 no.
so you know what? Good for him. Even though I don't like him, good for
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
So then we see Chanel forgot the code, Brianna passed, Johnny Manziel passed, obviously Chanel failed, Shawn Johnson passed. Andrew tells her she was perfect form out there and like, thanks for showing me the way. And then it's his turn and he's the last to go.
Mhm.
So he's like, you know what? Like, he gets up there and he said, like, she set the bar high. He goes, if I went first, I would set the bar way too low. Like, she is basically, he feels inferior to her. He says that,
Yeah, yeah. But,
He,
like I said, she can be a little I don't know that she necessarily means it, but she can really come off, like, cocky. Like, he was like, "My knees are shaking, I'm nervous." She was like
I don't think she
you know what I
means it.
mean? Like, she's
I
just like,
think she is
"Oh, I
very
don't know what's wrong with
focused on
you."
what it is she needs to do. Yeah. I think she's just focused. And he says to the DS up there that, he thinks that they're a good team. I think that they're a good team too. I actually really like them together. I really
Oh,
do.
most definitely, and you see them later on, they show just, like, a moment where they're just sitting on a cot together, leaning on each other, and there's no doubt
Yeah.
of the connection and the peace that they have with each other. It was just one of those moments where when you have something like, that with someone else, that the rest of the world melts away, and
Yeah.
you really don't even have to say anything, but just the way they were sitting together, it was very nice.
No, I totally agree. He gets his code. He said that when, his football career didn't pan out how he wanted it to, and Sean saw him when he was at rock bottom, and he's like, I want her to see me, like, to be the guy that steps up to the plate.
Mhm.
And he gets down there and he fails because of the code. He got the code wrong. It was BG7127, and he said UG, and like he was one letter off. He was
Yeah,
so
I mean,
close.
come on. Yeah.
I know. But of course, like he's pissed because,
Mhm.
he wants to see, they all want to succeed. He's like, I'm going to have nightmares about that number. Like this was like my chance to do it. And I screwed it up because of this stupid number.
Mhm.
So then they say like, let's grab your bags. And one of them's like, I got to pee. And someone says, does anyone else got to pee? I don't know who said these things.
Yeah, I don't remember either. I know one of them was Ravi.
Ravi, yeah. So then Diaz says, hold on just a minute. He says, you all want to go for a pee. And Ravi says, like, we can all go over there by the gate and there's an entrance over there. And the DS is like, oh, wait. So you're going to tell me like what my job is? Like, do you want to get up here and do my job? And Ravi like starts to walk.
Racy, what is wrong with you?
I was like, what are you
What
doing,
is wrong
Ravi?
with you? What is wrong with you? Because really, it should have been, "Sir, we'd like
Yes.
permission to use the head, sir." That's
Yes.
how you that's how you
Yes.
ask to go to the bathroom. You don't just be like, "Let's go pee over there."
Yeah. Right.
No.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
And he was like, "Oh, what'd I do? I was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
Lord."
Like,
You asked him where'd he live exactly where'd he live, making chit-chat on the top of the dam, and now you're fucking around with bathroom breaks. That's what you did.
yeah. So then he announced whose the fails are. I mean, he announced the numbers. I didn't bother to look them up, but 4, 11, 5, 8, and 13 all failed. That's 1/3 of the team failed. He's like,
Mhm.
failure in the battlefield means a loss of life. And when you look at it that way, like, that's huge.
Yeah, that's
That's
huge
huge.
pressure. Yeah, huge.
Right. And he says to 7, you are a pass, which is Ravi, but you're highlighting yourself. He said, "You know what that means?" And he's like, "No." He's like, "You're on our effing radar." Like, even then he doesn't realize,
Mm-mm,
like,
doesn't
what
get it.
he's doing wrong. He
Mhm.
doesn't know. And he actually whispers like, "What am I doing wrong?" I'm like,
Mhm.
"Oh my god. Are you not there present?" Like, I mean, we can all see it. How can you not,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. But, we're we've been watching for a couple episodes and,
Yeah.
we're not in it, so and we get the 411. This is about military discipline. It's like military.
Yes.
But for someone who's never been around the military before, I'm sure he's like, "Okay, let me do what I'm told," and, but not realizing what
Right.
he's doing.
So they get back to the camp and the DSs are deciding like who they're going to take back and they all decide that, number 7, Ravi, is a little bit cocky, so he's the one they're gonna call back. And before he goes back, when they call him, Randall says to him, like, "Listen, Ravi, don't say your first thought or your second thought." He's like, "Say your third thought and think about your answer," because that's what his problem is. Like, he's just spouting out whatever comes to his
Right,
mind.
whatever comes to his mind, right,
It
right.
just comes
He's
out of his
just
mouth.
improving a little too much.
Exactly. So he gets back there and they ask him, like, "Why do you think we brought you here?" And he's like, "The ironic thing is normally I have quite a lot to say." And he said, "I think that you've pointed out that, like, I talk too much." And the DS is like, "Well, you're not supposed to talk." He's like, "You spout off way more than you should in this environment." And Robbie's like sitting there. Now he's not talking. He's like nodding his head. And the DS is like, why? And he said, "I think my personality takes, like, calibrating in this type of environment. I feel like I've made improvements, but obviously not enough."
Yeah, and then that's so funny because, like you said, he thinks he's being really quiet and subdued.
Yes, exactly, exactly.
So I bet you he just must be like that chatterbox personality, like,
Yeah,
always yakking away. So for him, it's like, "Oh, I'm, being so quiet."
exactly. And again, this is only day 4, and he is like, I feel like he didn't train. I feel like he didn't watch the other seasons,
Probably
right?
not. Yeah,
I
yeah,
feel like
that's how I
he
feel too.
didn't.
He was just like, "Okay, I'll do it."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like he didn't know what he was getting himself into. He's like,
Mhm.
he says to him, "I just wanna be clear, like, I never meant to be disrespectful. This is not at all what I put out." And I believe him when he says that. I don't think he meant to be disrespectful. I just don't think he realizes where he is and how he's supposed to be behaving.
Right. Yeah.
So he also says to them, "Listen, I'm pulling from places I've never pulled before." So he feels like he's digging down deep. And I think that he is, especially for the physical stuff, because this isn't stuff he's used to doing. And the DS tells him, like, you're just seeing the surface. Like, this is going to get way harder. This is
Right,
not
we're just
even
starting.
right. And then they say to him, like, "What's the hardest thing that you've ever had to do?" And that's when he drops it. He's like, "Well, I lost my daughter 5 days after she was born a couple of
Mhm.
years ago."
Mhm.
And as soon as he says that, I'm like, that's heartbreaking.
Yeah, so I think basically she had some brain damage, and so I think what they had to do was maybe make the decision to take her off life support because she
Mhm.
wasn't gonna thrive, so
Right. Yeah, because the DS says, like, "How did it affect your" the first thing he said was, "How did it affect your wife?" And he said, "Well, it was awful for his wife and for his daughter, who was 6 at the time." He said his daughter's school was right across the street, and, like, they said, we're gonna have to make a hard choice." And he said, "Well, I
Mhm.
want my daughter to meet her." So he went and got his daughter, and, his daughter met her. Her name was Sachi, and they hung out for a little bit, and they cried together, and, she got to meet her sister, but it was a hard time. And
Brutal. I can't even
yeah,
imagine. I can't even
yeah,
imagine.
yeah. But then when he brings up that he's feeling guilty about being there while his wife is at home, because earlier I remember he said, like, his wife and family don't want him to be there. And I'm like, "Well,
Mhm.
why would they not want him to be there?" Well, I think this is why they didn't want him to be there, because 1, they didn't want him to be away from the family after, what had happened, and 2, they probably watched the show and knew what he was gonna be going
Yeah,
through.
and they're like, "Oh, that's she," and the wife is probably, "That's the last thing I need is you with, like, a busted leg or something."
Right, exactly. And then he says, like, after she passed, like, I felt the weight of my family on my shoulders. Like, my wife's experience was deeply emotional and physical. And, like, I don't want to lose sight of anything. Like, I'm trying to use my time the most efficiently as I can. Like, I know that time away from my family is precious because I don't know how much time I'm going to have. So, although he knows I mean, he's gotta know it's a 10-day challenge. They're gonna be there for 10 days. If you last the whole time, I guess in his mind, he's like, "I'm just gonna give it all I got for 10 days." And his idea of giving all he has is with his mouth. Like, he needs to just shut
Yeah.
up,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And then they tell him, like, "For all the talking you've done, like, you really haven't really done a lot of physical exertion yet. Like, this is gonna get way worse."
Mhm.
physically. So he goes back and, they ask him how it was. And, he tells them how it was. And then they're going to do the second exercise of the day. And they have to get all their gear. And what they're going to face now is a brutal, real life combat mission. This one was tough.
Please. On the way there, I forget who it was that said it, that, they're like, "Oh, somebody's gotta go because this is the longest
But yeah,
they've
they were
had
talking
people
about
hold on for." So I guess from previous seasons, maybe more people left, but
earlier.
at this time,
Yes.
than have left now.
Yeah. So they tell them the main goal is to be able to move into enemy territory covertly, kill, and get out. So we're going to test your ability to navigate through tunnels. Your target is the signal tower, and they're going to split you into 4 teams. Each team is going to have a leader, and that leader is going to be selected by the DS. So
Now,
that's
there are no women leaders of teams.
who led Sean's team? Because I couldn't tell who led her team. I thought she might have led it.
I don't think so. I think
You
every
don't?
team leader was a guy.
Okay.
I think every team leader was a guy.
I'll be honest with you, it was very hard for me to tell with this
Oh, yeah,
challenge.
there's a lot going on.
So the first team was a team of 3, and Johnny Manziel was the leader, and it was Johnny Manziel, Gia, and Chanel. The DS hands Johnny Manziel a grenade, and he's like, "Okay, follow me. Let's get down into the ditch." And then they enter a half a mile of like this claustrophobic underground tunnel. And when Johnny gets in, she gets in, and then it's time for G to go in, and she's like panicking, and she's like, "I'm having an anxiety attack." And DS Foxy's like, "You got to do this." She's like, "Can I take off my helmet? I can't breathe." And he's like, "You're breathing right now. Like, just do it." And she does
Mhm.
it. She
Mhm.
does it. It was, listen, she was actually having a panic attack, and she
Oh,
did
most
it. And
definitely.
I'm proud of
So
her.
I just wanna show you as I'm writing my notes. Look.
Oh, no,
No,
no, no.
no, no, no,
Fuck no.
no, no, no. That's that's how strongly I felt about it. Like, I was, 'cause I get a little claustrophobic with things like that, and there's no way, no way. Like, I was freaking out just watching it. Just watching.
Yeah.
But, again, I always have this thing where I'm really thinking about it, and I'm like, I understand that we see them do these things, and I do think there's a lot of things that they do, but sometimes when I just watch scene by scene, I'm like, there's certain things that maybe they're doing a lot less than they show because they do really amp it up. They really do amp up the drama of the show. So I don't know. Like, when you look at all the scenes, they look really real, but I don't know that they went through the whole entire thing of the tunnel. Like, I don't know. I don't know.
Well, that's interesting. I
Just
definitely
question.
think they went through it.
I don't know.
You don't think
I
so?
don't know. I just don't know. There's just some parts of me that when I watch like scene by scene, I think to myself, well, when you put those all together, it really looks like they did A, B, and C to its fullest. But when you look at them separately, there could be some massaging. I don't know. Again, maybe that was just my overall fear of it that, like, no, this can't even be. Like, there's no way people could have actually done it and made it through. I'm not sure what it was.
That's interesting because I definitely think that they're doing it. I'm just a little disappointed that we don't get to see all of them do it, like, to
Yeah.
completion.
And it's doing something like that certainly makes you work as a team.
For
Because,
sure.
like you were saying, the first team, um, they got to a thing in the tunnel where it was kind of a dead end. And,
Yeah.
he really didn't even communicate. He freaked out. He started backing up without even telling the people behind him he was coming. And everybody had to be like, oh shit, okay, I guess we're backing out, just, it certainly makes you work as a team.
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, when they did get to that dead end, he actually isn't even the one that figured it out that you had to back out. Like, he was gonna try and dig it out. The
Mhm.
DSs had to tell him, "You have to turn around, you have to get out. You can't
Mhm.
go any further."
Mhm.
So he's like you said, he starts moving back, and Gia is obviously she was the last one in, so she's gonna be the first one out. And she's there like coaching Chanel and she's calling and coaching Johnny. Like she's really
Oh, yeah,
there.
she definitely stepped up.
Yeah, she's
She was like the
leading.
team leader.
She really was. And then he all of a sudden pops his head out. I didn't even know they had these like places you could pop your head out. And he's like, I'm out. And the Diaz is like, are you sure? Like, you're only 3 meters away from the rest of your team. Like, he's yelling at him, like, you're only 3 meters away. And he stopped for a minute. And he thought, he's like, no, I'm out. And then he gave him 3 shots and he said, I'm
And he
out. And I
still
was
said, "I'm
like,
out."
I mean, that's so honestly, I feel like that is so weak. Listen, I've not been in that situation. So I'm sitting here judging from, the
Right,
comforts of my own basement. But I feel like the fact that Gia did it and Chanel did it, Johnny
right.
Manziel, a Heisman Trophy NFL player, you
Mhm.
should have been able to back your ass out 3 more
But
meters.
I think, and I think part of even the premise of the show is it's all about your mindset.
Well,
So,
that's what I mean, that was the name of the episode.
yeah, he's not in the correct mindset.
Right.
So, and like I said, I am claustrophobic, so I cannot even imagine even attempting. So I had a lot of sympathy for him because, you know, just cause you mess something up doesn't mean that you can't be a leader or you're not a leader. And I'm sure him having the lead role in it and not being able to complete it was horrible for him. Like such, I'm sure he felt like he really let himself down. But one thing I know for certain is I'm good. I have no interest in ever doing any special forces activities of any kind. When the world goes to shit, I'm sure that I will step up for a lot of stuff, and I'm sure, just like him, I will immensely fuck some things up, but I have no interest. I'm with Nick.
Yeah, okay.
I'm good.
You don't
I
wanna
don't
play Army anymore?
No. No. Never. I'm
That's
good.
that's Nick's quote, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
I
no.
mean, when it's all said and done and he gets out, like, he's there by himself, and you could see, he said, "My biggest struggles within myself are giving up and times losing my battle mentally." He admits it. He knows where his failures are, you
Yeah, yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah.
And Chanel thanks Gia for helping her and, like, getting her through it, and the 2 of them are like, "I can't believe Johnny quit."
Mhm. I'm sure he
I
can't
ca
believe it either, you know? I
Yeah,
really felt
no.
bad for him.
No, I mean, that's what he's saying, like, "This is what this is my problem is that I quit too easily and I give up." Like, he knows where his failures are. Janelle said, "Actually, I swallowed so much dirt, I'm shaking." And, I could see that at that point. And even when we finished the whole course, you could see everyone physically is struggling. You could see it on their faces. You can see them coughing. I think that they all swallowed and inhaled dirt on these missions, not to
Mhm.
mention the water when they get to the water portion of it. I
And,
mean,
I was thinking to myself, like I said, I don't know if it's all real, but no matter what, there must have been some serious legal sign-offs for this show because the things that it must be like you have to sign the paper that whatever happens to you, too bad, so sad.
yes,
We're not interested in, you know what I mean? Like,
yes.
there must be some serious sign-offs on this
I'm
show.
sure there's a clause that says consequences can be up to and including death. I'm sure that verbiage is in
Absolutely.
there,
Yeah.
right?
So I don't know. I guess I don't know. I guess maybe it's my own fear that made it seem like this challenge was, like, super risky, whereas
Yeah.
other people would think, "Oh, well, it's risky propelling out of a helicopter too." But I don't know, there was something about this that if it was 100% real, and if they really had to do all that they had to do that was shown, then to me, it was like a super risky. I don't know.
So then the next team is Brianna, and she's up there and she's saying that she can't do it. They're saying, if you don't want to do it, give me your armband. But she does it. She gets through it. Nick Young is in there. He's having a hard time. Randall Cobb's doing it. Christy Grampone is doing it. Sean is doing it. I put she's a leader. I thought she was a leader because I thought she's the one who gets there and it's blocked back, and she's the one who backed it up. They didn't even have to tell her. I mean, I could be
No, it
wrong.
was him. It was him. It was Andrew. It was the husband. He got to
Okay,
the
I do
part in
have
the
that
tunnel.
one too.
Yeah.
No, I do. Yeah, I do have. Andrew was a great leader, actually. That's when we find out when the next team goes that when they get to the target that they launched a grenade, because we didn't see that with the first team
Mhm.
because they never got there.
Yeah, yeah.
And then, like you said, it was Andrew, and he was the team leader, and he had Mark Estes and Jesse James Decker and one other person. So he had a team of 4, whereas the other team was a team of 3. Um, and like you said, he got to the end, and he's the one who said, "Let's back it up." And he actually really did a great job leading the team. He really did. I thought he
Well,
did
he
an
was
awesome
he
job.
was excellent.
And even when he got back in the car, I loved how he said, "Great job, team." Like, he
Yep, yep.
is a very good leader. He really is a good leader.
And a great team, like a team player. Definitely a
Yeah.
great team player.
So then they get back, and it's day 4. It's 22:10, which is 10:10 at night, and there's 13 recruits remaining because we lost Johnny Menzel.
Mhm.
And they're talking about who they're gonna take back next to talk to, and they decide that they wanna talk to Andrew because he's kind of been a roller coaster, and he didn't get the code right. The second challenge, he did good, and they wanna see, like, what's he all about? So they bring him back and
Now, did you notice he's going to walk out the door because they call him,
mhm.
and his wife's like, "Fix your hat."
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Okay. Oh, yeah. You start to notice, like, if you pay attention, you'll start to notice and like I said, I don't think she's a bitch, and I don't think she necessarily means it. I think it's just her way. But I can I think that in some ways she might even not realize it, but in some ways she adds to his feelings of doubting his self-worth. I don't think that she means to, but I think that she's just so strong that
I
just
think that's what it is. I think that she's so strong, and I can honestly say myself as kind of a type A, which is Shawn is. I feel like Shawn's a type A person. If my husband was walking out and his hat was crooked, I would tell him too.
yeah, tell him to fix
You
that,
know what I
fix
mean?
that. Yep,
I
yep,
would
yep.
I would be doing the same thing. So
Yeah,
I can totally, like, you just wanna help him out, right?
yeah, yeah.
And I get that. I totally get that because 'cause I'm kind of the same way. Like, I like things done. I like them done at a certain time. I like them done a certain way, and that's kind of a type A personality, which is what Shawn is, right?
Right, right.
So he gets back there and they ask him, "How's he feeling?" And he's like, "Well, it's been a roller coaster. I didn't get the code right," which we know he was pissed off at himself about that.
Uh-huh.
He's like, "The second challenge, I did good." He's like, and they're like, "But wait, you led the team." Like,
Yeah,
they're
he
telling
said
him.
he said, "Oh, the team did great," instead of
Right,
saying, took it away from himself. Yeah.
right. He's not owning his part in that. Like, he was the reason that team did so well, and they have to point that out to him. Like, "You are the reason. Like, you are the leader. You were a great leader." And they ask him, like, "Are you self-critical?" And he is. He absolutely is, because he tells them, like, "Listen, I was, my rookie year, I was the snapper, and he was doing good, but then all of a sudden he was making mistakes, and I guess he lost it." It sounds to me like he got fired. I don't know what his exact story is, but it sounds to me like he got fired, right? He wasn't doing what they wanted him to do. And right now he doesn't trust himself because he had this great NFL football career
Mhm.
and he didn't live up to what they wanted him to. And I think he feels like he let himself down. And this is where he's at in his life, and now he's married to a Olympic gold champion, you
Right,
know?
right. Type A.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I thought it was really cool when they said that that they felt the most important thing was that he was allowed himself to be there for himself.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely, and I feel like that's what it is for every single one of them. Like, they need to be there for themselves, and I think that, I mean, we'll have to see, because I think that's Nick's biggest problem. I feel like Nick is not there for himself.
Mhm, mhm.
Like, he's still not even there for himself, and as soon as he can figure it out to be there for himself, I think that's when he'll maybe succeed, you
Yeah.
know?
Yep.
Um, and Andrew says, like, his biggest fear is finding a blind spot and letting it cripple him. And that comes back to his football. What happened when he was, the snapper and he didn't do what they wanted him to do. He
Yeah.
lost it.
Yeah, I think he just got so overwhelmed with self-doubt that,
Yeah.
he just didn't people thought he could do all these great things, and he just thought, "Well, no, I can't." And then that was it, that he couldn't.
Yeah. I think for him, this is his biggest challenge is his mental game. It's not
Mhm.
his physical game, it's his mental game.
Yeah. And when he goes back to the tent and they ask him, "Oh, how'd it go?" And he goes, "Yeah, I got a lot of, they told me that, I'm not celebrating." And they're like, "That's the note you got?"
I know.
Everybody got their ass handed to them on a platter, and you come back with the note that you're not celebrating enough?
I know. I know. I really enjoy this show. I'm looking forward to next week. It'll be week 5. We'll be halfway through because there's only 10. Well, it will be week 5. It'll be day 5 because there's only 10 days. So I'm looking forward to next week and see what the next challenges are.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a fun show, and I like trying to now that it's stuck in my craw, now every time I watch it, I'm gonna be like, "Alright, so if you do scene A, B, and C, did they really do?" But like I said, I like the psychological aspect of it. I like how they kinda really try and get in there and because that kinda stuff is good for everybody to hear, you know?
Definitely.
Good for everybody, yeah.
Definitely.
I, reposted something onto I think it's our TikTok. The Fox, social media special forces page has a lot of really great little clips that they put out, and
Okay.
one of them was like a behind the scenes thing where Ravi is in this tent, and he's in his underwear, and says, "Well, I have to go out and talk to DS Foxy." So he leaves in his underwear and he goes out into the yard, and DS Foxy is standing up on the wall, above him, and he has a piece of paper in his hands, and he says, "I just want to let you know about some things that cast members are missing." So he says, "I'm missing my second pair of pants. Well, this is why I'm here in my underwear. And somebody else was missing their underwear and sock packet. Somebody else was missing this and that, and he's like DS Foxy's like, "Okay, well, that's great. Throw me up the note," and then there was some other thing that he was talking about with washing clothes or something, that they needed a bin or something. He just throw me up that note, and he goes, "From now on, these requests come to me within 30 minutes after we come back from a challenge, not in the middle of the night." It was really cute, you have to look at it, but you should look at, Special Forces Fox,
TikTok.
their own little social media posts, they're really cute. There's a
Okay.
bunch of them, and they show some behind the scenes, um, you know, filming, which is really cute, like that scene, but there were the other couple other different ones, so it's interesting.
I'll have to watch it. I don't know if you know this, but I saw, I think it was DS Foxy, but all of these DSs, they do like the US show and then they have like a week off and then they do another country and then they have like a week off. Like they do this all the time.
All the
This is not just like the like this is the US version, but they do this all over the world.
wow.
I thought, wow, that's crazy. Yeah. So I thought that was interesting.
So we shall see.
So, yeah, we'll definitely see.
I
Until
think
next time.
I think Cody's gonna make it to the end, though.
God, I hope not.
I really do, I think so.
I mean,
That's
I
my
don't I
prediction.
don't like to not root for somebody, but I don't wanna root for him. I really
No,
don't. I don't.
no,
You know
but I
who I
think
wanna
he
see
is.
make it? I want Gia to make it to the
Well,
end.
I want G to make it too.
I
Absolutely.
want Gia to make it to the end.
Yeah,
I
I want all
want
the girls to make it.
Chanel to make it to the end.
Mhm, mhm.
I
Chicken
definitely
fried, I
want
want them all.
Shawn. I want Brianna to make it to the
Yeah,
end. Yeah.
I want them all the women to make it to the
I
end. I
want
think
all
that would
but
be great.
Cody. He's the only one I don't want to make it to the end.
I know, but I unfortunately,
He's going to.
I think that his narcissism is going to propel him.
Okay. We'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. All right. Until next time, thank you for watching and listening. Please subscribe and give us 5-star reviews. Bye.
Bye. All right.